The inspiring life of an eagle. In a faraway valley nestled between towering mountains and dense forests, a young eagle named Kala hatched from a sturdy egg. The world was vast and the horizon seemed limitless, but Kala's journey was one of learning, challenge, and eventual triumph. Little did he know that his life would become a tale of perseverance, resilience, and the power of embracing one's true potential. Kala's parents, wise and strong, were revered among the other birds for their ability to soar high above the mountains. They had witnessed many seasons come and go, their wings cutting through the air with effortless grace. From the moment Kala opened his eyes, he knew he was destined for something greater. His feathers were speckled with a fiery gold, a sign of the strength he would one day possess. But first, he had to learn how to use the tools nature had given him. As a chick, Kala's world was small. The nest was perched high on a cliff, a safe haven where the only dangers were the occasional gusts of wind or the distant call of predators. He watched his parents with wide eyes, fascinated by their skillful flight. They would often leave him to explore the world, teaching him to be independent. But the world outside the nest was daunting and fear often held Kala back. Why must I leave the nest, mother? The sky is so vast and frightening, Kala once asked, his wings still soft and untested. Fear will keep you grounded, Kala, his mother replied gently. The world may be big, but it is in the air where you will truly find yourself. If you never leave, you will never learn to fly. Kala understood the wisdom of his mother's words, but that didn't ease his trepidation. He spent many days watching the wind shift and the mountains beyond the valley appear so far away. The idea of taking first leap terrified him. How could he possibly rise to the heights his parents had reached when he hadn't even tried to spread his wings yet? His father noticed Kala's hesitation and approached him one morning. The first flight is always the hardest, but it's the one that determines who you will become. With those words, Kala felt a flicker of something deep inside him. Perhaps his father was right. He had seen others take flight, and despite the fear they faced, they always soared higher. It was time for him to make that leap, to believe in himself. One day, when the sun was just beginning to rise and the sky painted itself in shades of pink and orange, Kala made his decision. With his heart pounding in his chest, he spread his wings wide. The wind whispered through the valley, carrying with it the promise of freedom. Kala stood at the edge of the nest, looking down at the steep cliffs below. His parents watched from a distance, knowing that this moment would shape their son's future. Taking a deep breath, Kala leaped. For a moment, he fell. The ground seemed to rush up at him faster than he expected. Panic surged within him and he instinctively flapped his wings, but it wasn't enough. The air was too thick and he couldn't gain the height he needed. But then just he thought he might fall forever, Kala remembered his father's words. It is in the air where you will truly find yourself. With newfound determination, Kala spread his wings wide again, allowing the wind to catch them. Slowly, ever so slowly, his body began to rise. His wings beat in sync with the rhythm of the breeze, each flap pushing him higher. The ground became a distinct memory as the sky opened up before him. The valley looked so small, its boundaries nothing more than a distant outline. He was free. For the first time in his life, Kala felt the thrill of flight. The wind beneath his wings, the vast sky stretching endlessly before him, it was all a part of him now. He could feel the power of his body as his wings carried him higher, and in that moment, he knew that this was where he was meant to be. Over time, Kala's flight became stronger. He ventured farther than he had ever dreamed, crossing towering mountain ranges and gliding over dense forests. He encountered storms that challenged his resilience, strong winds that tested his strength, and dark clouds that obscured his vision. There were times when he thought he might not make it, but each time he struggled, he remembered the lessons his parents had taught him. Life will not always be easy, Kala, his father had once said, but in every challenge lies an opportunity for growth. You must learn to trust your wings, trust the wind, and trust yourself. Kala embraced these teachings. He learned to navigate the storms using the winds to his advantage. His wings became a symbol of his inner strength, and with every flight, he grew more confident in his abilities. He knew that he could face whatever came his way, for he had already conquered his greatest fear, the fear of flight. One day, after many seasons of soaring high and exploring the world, Kala returned to the valley where he had once been afraid to live. The mountains still stood tall, the forest still whispered their secrets to the wind. But Kala was no longer the same young eagle who had once hesitated at the edge of the nest. He was a master of the skies, a force to be reckoned with. As he landed gracefully on the edge of his childhood nest, his parents greeted him with proud smiles. "You have become all that we hoped for, Kala," his mother said. With a humble nod, Kala replied, "I have learned that the sky is not something to fear. It is a place to grow, to soar, and to become everything you were meant to be." And so, the eagle who had once feared the heights became a symbol of courage and resilience for all who saw him. His journey was a reminder that no matter how vast the world may seem, it is in embracing our fears and pushing past our limits that we truly find the freedom to soar. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe.